Welcome back to Let's Smoke About It with your host, NookiePuss.
And Captain Daddy.
Oh, man, what? We got a lot going on today. So, first and foremost, we were talking about Andy Dick earlier. And
I wasn't 100% sure who Andy Dick was, what made him famous. Who is he? Where did he come from?
Right, your only exposure to who Andy Dick was, at least to your knowledge at that point, was the character reference in American Dad, correct?
Yeah, and he was just this weird Roger-like character.
He was another fey pansexual non-human.
Another fey pansexual.
That being said, we did a little digging. We were looking into some of Andy Dick's.
He actually can do things.
Yeah, some of his more prominent roles, and I can't believe I forgot about one of my favorites. I've only ever seen it one time, but I swear to God, I laughed from beginning to end. Division 3. Where he plays like some off the rails football coach, right? Dude. Anyway, we were talking about
I've never seen it.
Yeah, that's
never heard of that movie. I don't know anything that Andy Dick has ever done. So.
I guarantee that you've probably seen him in some instances. I'm pretty sure at one point he even plays like a in a Jurassic Park movie, right? They have the team of scientists, and then they have like the two scientists that do like the most like face work with the camera, right? While everybody else sits at the computers and like does whatever.
Yeah. Like
Andy Dick would be one of those two scientists, and I'm almost fairly certain he was in a role similar or something of that nature. I believe I remember seeing him in a lab coat and in a relatively like serious.
He was a scientist
manner.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
No, I'll need to watch some movies of Andy Dick.
Please do.
I need to know this man other than references outside of American Dad. Because all I know him is a just weird man child.
I'm not gonna say anything about the man in terms of like how he actually tries to come across, because I don't know his thought process. But I will say I don't know. It seems like he built his career off it. It seems like that was prominent for him in particular. That's what he was really good at.
Oh, being off the wall.
Being the guy to kind of take everything to that next level that people weren't really.
You have
maybe
no shame.
100% ready for at the time.
Yeah.
But it gradually grew into something better. And I feel like that's when Andy Dick really shined. And
when people accepted that more, they're like, whoa, exactly. This guy's nuts.
And it paved
He's doing
the way
stuff I wouldn't normally do.
Yeah, it paved the way for a lot of comedians and other actors to really take heart to that.
Take it to that next step.
I'm not saying that Andy Dick by any stretch of the imagination was the sole pioneer for it. I just feel like he may have been... aspiring actors could have seen him and been like, hey, like, it's all right to be a little out there now. Like, we don't all have to be the clean, straight
edge.
Yeah, I was going to say the clean cut, straight edge. Yeah.
Oh.
Clean cut, straight edge gentlemen that we have been portrayed as for God knows how many years up until that point, right?
Yeah.
That it's okay to just be a little off the wall sometimes. Vans off the wall.
Vans off the wall.
We are in no way, shape, or form sponsored by Vans off the wall. We are, however, plugging it because Vans are incredibly comfortable. And that's all I really have to say about that.
Top sponsor. Yeah, no, Andy Dick. What a weirdo. I almost almost mistook him as Andy Warhol. The artist who made the Campbell's thing. No, totally different guy. But
yeah, I really didn't know. And I'm going to be perfectly honest, I still don't know a ton about Andy Warhol. I know that Jim Carrey did that portrayal of him, right? I'm not 100% sure how truly realistic that was. Like, he did a variation of method acting where he did everything Andy Warhol would have done off the set.
Oh.
And a lot of people were saying, and again, I don't know if this is part of the movie, part of, like, the whole drama aspect behind it or whatever, or if this, like, actually happened and it's more of a documentary. That Andy Warhol truly embodied Jim Carrey at that point, and he was a fucking asshole, and it actually made it very difficult to work with him.
Oh, damn.
And, I feel like Jim Carrey may have delved so deep into that role that when he tried to come back and just be like, no, guys, it's just me, like, I'm just, it's just Jim, he was probably shunned by a lot of people, and that's what made him go through that, like, rethink of, like, who he actually is.
Oh, dang. He went just way too deep.
Yeah. Like, and it kind of explained the identity crisis that he's had. Not necessarily the true identity crisis, but like
He's like a split personality type deal.
He's gotten a little weird. Everybody who knows him knows that he's gotten a little weird.
Well, he's had a rough life.
I'm not by any way trying to denounce Jim Carrey by any stretch of the imagination.
He's a great man.
One of my favorite actors, one of my favorite comedians. He inspired a lot of what I try to do in my own humor, in terms of slapstick, but also being able to be very mobile with facial expressions, impressions, voices, things of that nature. And I can't commend the man enough for everything that he's accomplished, but I still feel at the end of the day that something like that may have attributed to it. Diving that deep into a character to play someone that he personally knew, and then being shunned for that role per se.
Yeah, because you did such a good job of it that you couldn't come back out of the character.
You took it so far that it just...
I am Andy Warhol.
Exactly.
I'm no longer Jim Carrey. You got to separate that. But then again, that's what actors do. They dive. They're meant to dive so deep into a character.
Freaking the last Christian Bale movie that I enjoyed, The Mechanic.
What about Batman? The Batman series. You didn't like Christian Bale in that?
No, sir.
Oh.
I am terribly sorry, but I feel that Christian Bale is probably the worst part of Christopher Nolan's Batman.
I'll have to bring some people on to have an argument. Not an argument, but a discussion about that.
I was going to say, I'm not about to sit here and argue with anybody about
my opinion. Not an argument, but a discussion about it. Well, that's why, I need to watch the new Joker movie, but I still put Heath Ledger as the best Joker.
Hands down.
I'll fight anyone for it.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Jared Leto, the worst Joker.
Easy.
I'll still fight anyone about that.
Yep.
He was just...
And then you could honestly just argue that, the Joker that they portrayed from, the 50s or 60s.
Like Jack Nicholson's? Or not Jack Nicholson's. But,
well, yeah. Jack Nicholson's is, among the...
Romero or whatever his name was.
But that's because it was so long ago.
Yeah.
That it's just ridiculous. And it's the same thing with Jack Nicholson's. You'll notice that they get better as the newer ones have come out. Right?
One, it's always a different styling of the Joker. The Romero Joker is more of a...
Mafia boss, right?
No, because Jack Nicholson's was more of the mafia boss. And Heath Ledger's was the anarchist, with Jared Leto being the gangster. Mm-hmm. Almost a pimp. Yeah. I'd still say gangster, though. But I haven't seen the new Joker, the newest one with Joaquin Phoenix.
I've only seen it one time, and even then, for about... I'd say 60 to 75% of the movie, there was so much commotion going on. It was family night. So it was just on in the background, but I'd never seen it, so I was trying to watch it. And, best friend just had a child. There's 3 dogs there. It's a large family. Whenever we have gatherings, there's always noise. There's always
too many damn people in this building.
Yeah. And so...
It's the corona, everyone back up.
Yeah, I didn't really hear any of it up until the last part when people started paying attention and wanted to see the end of it.
I don't know what the build-up was.
Yeah,
it was loud as hell.
I don't know. Yeah, that's the problem. Is if you try and watch that movie in that fashion,
I can see that.
You're gonna have a bad time. No, you're gonna. You're not gonna get. You're not gonna get the true experience, which is completely necessary for a movie of that caliber. You need to understand what the character is truly going through because it's so focused on him that if you miss any part of the development of how he gets to the Joker, you may as well just restart it and watch over,
Yeah, that is true. Well, I still need to watch it.
Yeah,
need to see how Joaquin fits in.
We come across a lot of movies that you haven't seen.
I'm bad at watching movies. I'm bad at setting aside time to watch a movie unless I'm dying to watch.
It's one of those things where it's watch a movie instead of a show, right?
I'm bad at watching shows.
I beg to differ, sir.
I'm bad at watching shows that I need to watch that's not the same thing.
That's fair.
I watch the same shit over and over again.
Shows over and over again.
I could watch something else to actually get my attention, so I'm watching it, not just something in the background, but maybe I'm just because I'm lazy as hell. I don't know.
That's fair.
Can't get committed to something else, even though I know it's good.
Right. I've been seeing And I'm not saying this is your case. It actually kind of resonates a little bit more with me. I've been noticing that I've been doing it a lot due to anxiety and stress-related situations where I just restart the same show over and over again because I already know what happens.
I have control of the scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
Your understanding of the scenario, yep. I should say.
And you know, and it puts you at that sort of ease, right? I know personally, like there'll be times where I'll be like watching a new show, and this is in previous living situations, but I'd be watching a show, and it'd be a new show, but then I'd just be paranoid like the whole time about like people like coming to my house, like knocking on my door and stuff.
Yeah.
Like just unnecessary stuff that never happens anyway. I'd just be like extra like nervous about, and it would frustrate the hell out of me. So then I just eventually stuck to the same shows that I've watched over and over again.
Huh. Yeah, no. Makes sense.
Recently I've broken out of it. But
what shows
it's a lot easier to do when I hate to admit it, but right now I'm watching Scrubs. It's more of like
it's still a good show.
It's a good show. It's more of a background show right now. Like I'm not actually getting into it. Like every once in a while I'll watch an episode that I've like had seen before on TV back when it was like still airing.
Yeah.
But I mean I usually just fall asleep and then it cuts 10,
like
15
5,
episodes ahead. So and then I just pick up from there. Like I don't go back to whatever the last episode was that I watched.
Who knows what I missed? Who knows if it's ever brought back up again?
But it's funny because I was literally watching an episode last night where Dr. Cox gets a vasectomy. That's a whole thing. And me and my coworker this morning actually were talking about like situationally if we would ever get a vasectomy.
Yeah.
And I just think it's funny how the world just kind of can come full circle over the course of 7 hours. No, not, I mean, purely happenstance, but yeah, I'd say that Scrubs is comfortable enough because I've seen enough of it, like, and knowing what kind of show it is, it's based on humor. It has some serious
like
moments.
A doctor humor, kind of.
Yeah, doctor humor. We need you in the ER, doctor.
Doctor
But
House.
doctor, oh God, that guy can solve anything with 5 Vicodin in a weekend. Like, I actually used to really like it until I realized that it's literally just glorifying like drug abuse.
It really is.
For like pain management.
Another show I'm rewatching that's still a good one is Big Mouth.
Lord almighty, Big Mouth. Let me tell you something about Big Mouth.
You got to get past the Florida episode because it's really good.
Oh no, I have. I've seen all of Big Mouth that's available right now.
Oh, okay. That's good.
I remember it had all dropped, right? And me and my roommate at the time, we had decided we were going to just binge this season. Yeah. Season 3. And we made it about halfway through, I think, before we like just had to stop and take like a break. Because it gets so...
that Florida episode.
Yeah.
I'm rewatching through that 3rd season right now, actually. Because I was nuts. Like, what really got him besides the Florida episode? And what was the episode before that? Well, like the first episode starts out when he's pulling the guy out of the wheelchair because he's trying to see if he walks.
The guy.
It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, the smart kid that is that's stealing Missy from Andrew. God, that's so funny.
Even Maury just like, whoa, Andrew. He needs that wheelchair.
He actually needs that, man.
Maury, see, that's...
What a great character, by the way. Much like Roger the Alien. And
monster.
We're going to talk about Roger the Alien, don't you worry.
I wouldn't put him... I'd put him under Roger.
But above Brian?
Yeah.
See, I don't know.
Family Guy doesn't sit that high with me. Like
yeah, but Brian is one of my favorite characters. At least, like the first 15 seasons, Brian.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't get behind that. But that's just me.
That's fair.
Again, Family Guy as a whole is subpar
that's
to American Dad.
Oh, 100%.
And you can fight me about that.
I'm talking about Brian v. Maury. There's way more Brian to choose from. There's way more...
Yeah, but Family Guy's been around longer than
That's fair.
Big Mouth. Big Mouth's only 4 seasons in, and
3.
Family Guy...
Aren't they?
I think they have 4 seasons.
Let's pull it up.
I'm like, I can't pull it up on this screen. Can I? This big. Jesus. Can't type when I'm sitting.
3.
3.
Okay. So.
See right there? 3.
That's fair. I will say that Maury, although we understand his character model, is still far more unpredictable. And I think that that's a better fit for a show like this. Whereas Brian does have... Like, you know what to expect from Brian. You know what he's going to say. You know how he's going to act and react to everything. You have... A lot of the times you have a pretty good idea of how Maury's going to react. But even then, like, sometimes he's either going to snap with Andrew or he's going to be, like, appalled at Andrew for something that he did, right?
Yeah.
Like, or he's going to be, oh, yeah, go for it, you sick little pervert.
You sick little pervert. Or trying to push something.
Push an agenda.
Push him
almost.
to do something, yeah. Go on, why don't you just jerk off now to this butter container. Butter Lakes or Lake or whatever.
Lando Lakes butter.
Lando Lakes, yeah, there it is with the Native American woman on the front.
Yeah.
Jerk off to her butters.
When he...
Oh, butters.
Why are there pictures of a mushroom all over my iPod?
Oh, God, I uploaded those to the cloud.
It's so funny, dude. It's absolutely hilarious. But, that being said, we gonna segue. Have you ever ridden a Segway?
No, I have not ridden a Segway. What the hell is Reddit Premium anyway? Who pays for that?
What is Reddit Premium?
I don't know. It's right there. The best Reddit experience with monthly coins. Like, why? I get it. You're helping the website, but you're spending money to just give
other people money. Like you're literally just giving it to them.
It's not even money. They're just giving them gold stars, gold coins, and whatever.
Just spending it.
So they can turn around and give back. It's not like they can get money out of it.
Right.
They can't cash it out. This ain't no Bitcoin. It's fucking Reddit.
I guess the only thing would be to promote certain...
Well, yeah, you can sponsor or promote and sponsors and stuff.
I'd imagine for, like, more business-oriented pages or, like, groups. Something like a tech-based group trying to promote...
Well, they have freaking ads now on Reddit. Kind of makes me upset every now and again because it will pop up. And I think it's a post. Nope, stupid. See, right here. Bam, perfect example, Adult Swim.
Where's that dog?
I was going to say that dog's still there. Just a skeleton.
I was hoping it, or at least stuffed.
She taxidermied it.
Yeah, dude, old people taxidermy shit.
Old people are weird. Just kidding, they're not weird. Well, snap, I don't know.
Dude, the scene in Spider-Man where Peter Parker catches Mary Jane's trait, dude, that's something we could talk about. The fucking Spider-Man movies. I could talk all day about how much better Tobey Maguire is in terms of being Spider-Man than
But did
any
you
of
know
them.
that it took him 156 tries to get it right?
Yeah.
According to this picture that I found on the internet that I'm going to believe is a 100% fact. I checked it with Carfox.
Show me the Carfax.
No, it was Carfox. He's a little fox with a shirt.
Show me the car doggo.
That's like that Geico commercial where the Geico lizard's talking about how he's only there because it sounds like Geico or Gecko.
That's fair.
Like if Geico sounded like Fox, the ad was talking about something and he used another animal as a comparison. He's like, but it's not called that. It's Geico.
It's Geico.
It's close to Gecko. That's why I'm here.
That's why I'm here.
Something along those lines.
I'm not 100. I don't think I'd ever seen that one.
Well, those Geico commercials were everywhere.
Oh, yeah,
the Gecko.
seriously.
Geico.
Well, and
Geico.
when they were testing out other grounds for it too, right? Like when they had how much wood could a woodchuck chuck?
Oh yeah.
Hey, you woodchucks, quit chucking my wood!
Quit chucking my wood, you beavers!
And then they start laughing.
Oh yeah, because they're just tossing it back
Yeah,
at them.
they're just throwing it in the lake.
Yeah. Quit chucking my wood.
Quit chucking my wood.
Goddamn Mongolians. Why is it every time
Yeah,
the Chinese
goddamn
men
Mongolians.
build a wall, Mongolians come and tear it down?
I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to pour a sweet, sour, sticky sauce all over their heads. And then when they come to run at the wall, they stick it to the wall, and then they scream, ooh.
Ooh. South Park is no longer on Hulu.
No way.
It's only on HBO Max or wherever the hell it's called.
You got to be kidding me. I was just about to start that one, too.
What am I going to do now? Because I need to watch that new season as soon as it's dropped, and I'm not getting another freaking streaming service on top of the 4 I have.
Seriously.
Like, it's cable with extra steps at this point.
Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and Crunchyroll.
Holy shit, I'm just counting. I only have 3.
Do you have Disney Plus, though?
Yeah, I have Disney Plus. I have the big 3. Hulu,
big 3.
Netflix, and Disney Plus.
I don't have Disney Plus.
Well, I guess I'm counting Spotify as another streaming service.
That's fair. I do have a Spotify premium subscription as well.
Yeah, that'd be my 4. I got the family plan.
Do you? Who else on your family plan?
Oh, me and my wife.
Oh, word.
That way we can... Because if you don't do that, only one can listen to a Spotify playlist at once. So
That's
if someone
ridiculous.
tries to play it, it'll change that song and pause it on yours and play it on theirs.
I believe I remember before like the family plans like had really come out and people were sharing their Spotify accounts. I feel like I remember that happening to people. Like specifically, I have a good friend of mine. He's a few states away now. He would be trying to listen to something, like we'd be driving to the store and he'd be trying to pull something up on his phone and listen to something. And his girlfriend back at her house was like doing her hair, makeup, or, you know, getting ready, cleaning house, doing whatever she was doing. And she'd be trying to listen to a different song as well. And eventually he just would say, fuck it. And he'd just let whatever song play that she was trying to pick. But I will say she was usually pretty good about picking something that at least slapped, because homeboy had a nice sound system in his car. And it
at least
definitely,
something that was good.
Exactly. Something that, yeah, it wasn't like, God, could you imagine Shania Twain on
all the time? She's a huge Cher fan.
On just huge 12-inch subs. Is that? Oh, that is Cher, huh?
I don't know any of the words.
Except for, do you believe in life?
Do you believe in life? South Park does a great rendition of it.
South Park does a great rendition of just about anything.
That's why I need to see the new season, because their new season got wrote out in front of them with the world's events right now. Like, they didn't have to try. They just had to turn on the news and they're like, all right, we're going to do one about people being stupid about coronavirus, thinking it's against their rights to wear a mask. What was the other one? I just had a list. I was about to go on. I lost it. It was the thing.
I will say, though, they, similar to South Park and how they see the world just written out before them, same thing with The Onion, right? Do you remember, like, back in, like, middle school, high school era, like, when you would go to theonion.com and just see the off-the-wall news stories that they would come up with?
Yeah, and you'd be like, that
and
can't
now,
be real.
Yeah, and now, like, they seem so tame compared to, like, and they have nothing to write about.
They can't really... What kind of headline can they put? The actual article they're writing about is better than the headline.
Yeah.
So it's like...
I was going to say, pull up theonion.com right now. Let's see what the top headline is, and we'll see how far they've fallen, because I remember that shit. The Onion and Cracked.com were both hilarious.
I don't think
before.
I ever went to Cracked.
Cracked was great.
See, like, here's this first one. Clumsy stealth drone surveying Taliban base flees after accidentally knocking over potted plant.
Like, that's the craziest thing they could come up with. Like, that whole thing happened, and the craziest thing they could do was add that it was knocked over a plant.
It was clumsy.
Yeah. All in all, I feel like they have really, like, news in brief. Asshole refusing to pay reward for lost dog as if poster specified it had to be alive. What? Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, that's weird as shit. But compared to some of the...
Look at that guy.
Yeah, that dude looks like an asshole. That dude obviously killed that guy's dog.
Yeah,
I guarantee
right
if we...
bag.
Yeah, I was going to say, if we read on, I guarantee you. To find the dog, and I did. It's on you if you're not specific on the terms of the reward, pal.
This
Miles
fucking
Pearson.
dickweed set the terms of the dog's return, and he's trying to add conditions, which is clearly horse shit. And when I called the number on the poster, this fuckhead was all like, "How does she seem?" That guy, like, that's intense.
That's just crazy to me.
They're riding.
I mean, but that's something they had to come up with. There's no way that actually happened.
Yeah, no.
And if it did, like, that's a very small article that somebody had to actually write out. Like, that's their job to do that. You know, I'm not even going to disparage that person because they're probably just following directions. On top of that, they probably make more money than me. Desperate CDC now just claiming wearing a mask will make you rich and famous beyond wildest dreams.
And they're just doing that to get people to wear masks properly.
Exactly.
Because they know there's people that are going to read this, and they're like, "That's true?"
Yeah.
Hey, they're wearing a mask, whatever.
I mean, it's the same thing with Trump now endorsing masks because it's patriotic. Like, dude,
get off your soapbox.
Seriously, for the love of Christ, you are going to kill millions.
We all saw what you did, you loser.
Admit the fucking fault and admit that you may not be as all triumphant as you may seem, and that you're gonna actually seek the advice of officials on the matter, and you know we can probably turn this shit around.
See, like this one right here, I feel like this would be true. I could see this being a politician upset that he has to help schools.
Self-loathing GOP congressman can't believe he's been reduced to defending necessity of public schools.
Like I could see that being real.
100%. Do you know how ridiculous the government would have to be to take away any more funding than they already fucking have? And they're still doing it, mind you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about all my teacher friends that are super flaming pissed about the state of the world right now, especially everyone needing to go back to school when we're on the highest.
Too dangerous right
yeah,
now.
we're on the highest incline of overall like COVID cases, and I get it. Tests are more widely available. It was bound to happen, but we are also still infecting each other at such an alarming rate, and there are just certain places, primarily amongst the U.S., that refuses to. They have some insane ass rhetoric about how the government's out to control them using masks. It's like the rest of the world has it figured out. You go on any public forum page and you look towards anything about how the U.S. is portrayed to the rest of the world, and we look like the biggest load of fucking
look like
idiots,
bunch of
dude.
Neanderthals over here who just came out of a cave.
And it's absolutely disgusting that we are unraveling how god-awful of a country we are in front of the world when all the person in charge is trying to accomplish is just making himself look good, and it's old school tactics of making him look good. The way that the media is covered everything, and the way that virtually every word that he says is recorded and monitored and displayed to people in some way, shape, or form. Like he's got to be more informed about this stuff primarily, and he's got to, I can't blame him entirely, but he definitely played a huge role, and he is continuing to play a huge role in terms of how it's making the rest of our country look.
You're called the leader of the United States for a reason.
Yeah, the leader of the free world, man. Come on. And
I am going to blame you for some things, but I know it's not just you, but you're the ones telling people what to do.
Exactly. And you have your ridiculous nationalists. I understand patriotism. I do. If we do something right, sure, we should be proud. When we won the World Cup, are you kidding me? You know how many people give a shit about soccer in the U.S.? Not enough. That being said,
we won the World Cup.
Exactly. Only when we're like even in the opportunity to win the World Cup.
Yeah.
Like, do people finally start caring? And it's
well, because now we're on the world stage.
Exactly.
We won the World Cup.
Yeah, and we just want to prove we're better than everyone, and that's
USA.
nationalists are a
Better.
problem.
Yeah.
But that's what I was getting at. Patriotism is fine. Nationalism itself, seeing no wrong in what your country's doing, or rather choosing true ignorance over it, is
I can see that.
harmful more than helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way
and
harmful.
That's the problem with the you can't get me to wear my mask, or no, because the government's trying to get us to wear the mask.
No, because it's the I'm not gonna wear my mask because it's against my constitutional right, or something like that. And it's like
dickweeds.
I've seen some people try to pull out the Fourth Amendment, and newsflash on the Fourth Amendment, that's only against illegal search and seizure, not what you can wear. And then my counter argument to people saying it's against my rights. Fine, take your clothes off, get naked, because there's no law against that. Yeah, you can get a ticket just like you can get a ticket now for not wearing your mask.
But
go
not,
go big or go home.
Yeah, it's not like. I mean,
it's just you don't want to see people naked, and I don't want you to cough on me. So wear a fucking mask.
It's a whole thing. You know, I saw something the other day that described it perfectly. A little cartoon, and it said, "I just don't believe in wearing masks. If yours works, right? Like, why should I have to worry?
Oh,
about
I think
wearing
I
it?"
have.
It's like,
seen
oh,
something
okay,
like that.
well, if that's the case, turns off car lights. Whoa, man, what are you doing? Oh, don't worry, everybody else's car lights work, so I don't have to use mine. It's the same rhetoric.
Well, and it's just another one. Like another one, for example, is someone pees on you.
Yeah.
If you're wearing pants and they pee on you, you only get a little pee on you. But if you're wearing pants and they're wearing pants, they just pee on themselves, and you're still fine. Yeah. So it's like, it's that right there.
Yeah, it's a prime example. And I don't understand how people can argue, well, I feel fine, I don't have it doesn't matter. You can be completely asymptomatic and still
That's the problem with viruses, is we have no idea until it's too late.
Exactly. They are so illogical about their decision making. They're so passionate about.
Well, it's like they don't believe these scientists who spent most of their lives doing this one field. But no, yeah, the thing you saw on Facebook is that got more.
Or all the guys on YouTube, and it was horrible. I saw another whole thread. This lady had tweeted about a story of hers, and talked about how her mother was a nurse for like 25 years, and like months and months of quarantine YouTube and doing nothing has essentially erased all of that training. Everything that she understands about the human body, about infections and how things operate and transmute, she's virtually been just brainwashed by
dumb information.
By misinformation, by dumb people who are speaking with passion and a loud voice, who don't understand how harmful their words are.
If you speak with enough confidence, you can sound right all the time.
Oh, yeah. You can be right about literally anything if you know how to talk to people. And that's the frustrating part, is people are so easily convinced out of what they already know to be truth. I'm not saying we know everything. Hell, I'm not saying we know anything. This could all be a fabrication of reality. This is what somebody else has said.
Nope. NookiePuss said it here, remember this day.
NookiePuss said it here, remember this day.
Penis. Tell the intro. Penis. Or the outro, I mean.
Balls.
Penis, welcome. So,
balls.
NookiePuss lost his track. He's had balls on his mind. Someone help him.
Sorry, phallus on the mind. Penis on the brain.
In the brain.
Insane in the dick brain.
Insane got no brain. Insane in the membrane. Look at that dog. He's pretty fucking cute.
He's a pretty wonderful doggo, but I almost guarantee he doesn't think with his dick.
I always wonder what dogs think about.
Man.
Like, I'm so fucking curious on what another animal thinks. Like, what goes on in your brain? What makes you do the things you do?
It's crazy that we have gotten to the point of essentially genetic modification through specified breeding of an animal that we have no way of truly communicating with other than embracing each other, and one just being cute as shit and not truly offering anything other than just being adorable as fuck.
Yeah, they rely. Oh, my foot's asleep. They rely solely on physical contact.
Mm-hmm.
Because it can't talk. Why can't you talk, doggo?
Seriously, though, you know how much of a pain in the ass it would save us if dogs could talk? If something happened to them or if they're not feeling well or whatever, if they could just tell us what was going on.
Like when he blew out his knee. If he could have just told me
Mm-hmm.
the pain and what it felt like, I wouldn't have had to dump all that money on that vet bill. But it was worth it because he was better in the end.
Yeah.
And in the end, that's really all that matters.
I definitely remember dropping a pretty penny on my cat when she needed her leg taken care of.
Well, when she became a tripod.
When she became a little tripod kitty.
Tricycle.
Luckily enough, she was young enough that all of her growth plates and everything were able to adjust accordingly. She's still living a long, happy, full life. But
As a tripod.
as a tripod. That being said,
Being cute as fuck.
it was devastating. It really was. It was either 8 times as long for the recovery period.
Ooh. That's a big
And
move.
I think it was around 3.5 times the amount to like try and fix her leg. As a young man who is 19 years old, that is a bit of a no-brainer. Don't get me wrong. I needed all of the reassurance in the world that she was still going to be fine.
Yeah.
As a tripod. But after I got over that, and it's funny because we put her in like a cast and we kept her overnight to see how she would do. As soon as the drugs wore off, she sprinted out of her cage and started freaking out because she didn't understand what was going on, right? Her hip was shattered.
Yeah.
And she tried
she didn't
running
understand
on a
the
leg.
Lack of a leg.
That, there's no connection in her hip. And all she knew is that it was painful. And it was the most blood-curdling scream I've ever heard in my entire life, animal or human. And I honest to God, immediately started crying. And I just had to, I just had to grab her and hold her and just keep her just still. And she was fighting me and biting and scratching, and it was painful. We ended up having to take her back to the hospital that night
For some more medicine to put her out.
Yep, sedate her just so she could sleep. And the surgery was the first thing in the morning. And actually,
That's
I
rough
think-
as hell.
No, they did do it. I was going to say, I think we actually had to go pick her up in the morning and transfer her to another veterinarian to do the surgery, but I'm pretty sure that same vet did it in the morning. But regardless, she's doing great now.
Yeah, being a healthy little kitty.
Healthy little kitty bean.
Doing tripod things.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that happened many years prior to the doggo hurting himself. And I remember when the doggo hurt himself, I was equally as scared because I didn't want something like that to happen again.
I was going to say, just hearing animals howl in pain
Mhm.
is always crazy because it's like the worst noise that you can hear
Mhm.
that animal's making.
Because it's purely instinctual. It's not like when a person's like, ow!
It's just a reaction.
I was
Yeah.
about to scream, but I'm not going to just
You should just
openly blurt and scream.
scream. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do it.
I'm not
My
going
ears.
to. Yeah.
I don't want to get my ears blasted out.
Your eardrums blown out your skull.
Because you started screaming into the mic and I got
I'm sorry.
scared.
Can we segue real quick and talk about
I got off the segue.
how great Hot Rod is? I swear to God, if you tell me right now that you've never seen Hot Rod, I'm going to absolutely lose my mind.
Well, you better start finding it. Only bits and pieces. Never
That's
fully
fair.
watched it.
That's fair. But it is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I will never forget August 3rd, 2006.
What happened August 3rd, 2006?
That's when Hot Rod came out.
Did you watch it in theaters?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
I watched it for my birthday, me and my friends. It was
Hell
the
yeah.
first movie that I ever watched where I laughed virtually from start to finish.
Yeah.
No joke. No joke at all. It was so goddamn funny. It's still hilarious, and it's
Cool.
been a minute since I've seen it. I try and watch it 2 times a year. I don't think I've watched it this year yet, but every time I watch it, I would feel comfortable in saying that I can quote it about 40% true to the script.
Because it's
And
cool.
it's so good.
beans.
Cool beans.
Cool beans.
Cool
Beans.
cool.
Beans.
I've seen it with the director's commentary
Yeah.
more times than I can count on both hands. Like it's so funny. There's a particular scene when Rod is going down the ramp, and he's talking about his safe word being whiskey. My safe word will be whiskey. And anyway, it's when he's flying down and he's screaming whiskey, and then he flies up and he lands into the side of an RV. He just crashes head on into the side of this RV. And everybody it's a quick shot of his crew. And everybody is like super like, oh shit, like, you know, nervous about it, except Isla Fisher, because the director forgot to direct Isla Fisher to look like concerned during that shot. So in the movie, in the final outtake, it's just a scene his whole crew, oh shit, and she's just like turning around like what the fuck ever, and it's hilarious. I love it. She's like in the middle of a turn, and she just has got like the RBF going. That's great.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that just
That's
adds
wonderful.
to it, because she's probably just like,
yeah, she didn't know.
made it, well, like for the character's sake, made it look like that person had already told him it was a bad idea.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I told you so.
Just like knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah,
I never thought about it like that.
So it's
That's
like,
awesome.
yeah, it worked out in the end. But that's funny. The director's like, yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah, I fucked up.
But I mean, wouldn't you, as an actor, actress, whatever you want to say,
I mean,
know what everyone else is doing?
I was gonna
and
say
do it?
there's no way there was only one take of that.
You can't tell
scene.
me you saw the director tell someone to do this and another person to do that same thing, and you didn't assume you should do the same thing.
Yeah.
You're in a big group.
Maybe that's not how the director went
But
about
then again, I'm not an actor.
it.
Yeah. So
We don't know what happened on that
I
set.
don't know shit.
All I know is that the majority of it was shot in Canada.
I heard that 1917 was almost shot fully in one take.
I've never seen that.
I haven't seen it either.
I know that there are
Should be
continuous shots throughout the movie.
Of
I
Hot
know
Rod?
that. What?
In Hot Rod or 1917?
No, in 1917.
Yeah, no, that's what I heard.
I know that there are continuous shots throughout it, and I know that Les Mis was done in a single take as well. So I know that it can happen, but I've never seen it, so I wouldn't be able to assess.
See, there was Les Mis. I'm bad at musicals. I was watching Hamilton.
I had a girlfriend that made me watch Les Mis.
Yeah.
And it was all right. She was a choir girl, so she, at which I, was a huge fan. I'm a singer myself.
That's not a singing voice.
That's not a singing voice at all.
Scared the dog. Look at him. It's a
Mr.
worried
Doggo
look
got
on his
scared.
face.
It's okay, buddy. I'm not gonna die. That being said, no, she's a choir girl. I'm a singer, and I was down for it. I wanted to see how good Russell Crowe was in terms of his singing voice, and he delivered.
That's right, because he's that pirate or that boat captain guy.
And
Fucking Russell
and
Crowe.
My girlfriend at the time pointed out like one of the few bad notes throughout the entire movie that were supposed to be a different note than what they were actually saying as.
Really?
Yeah, like she was that into it. It was pretty funny. The Anne Hathaway hits a flat at one point. She was supposed to do a sharp. It was a whole thing.
It's like, now you're just dissecting this thing.
But that's the level of commitment that I approve of. Like, that's the type of shit. Like, when I watch movies over and over again like that, that's what I do. I dissect every little bit of it to like fully immerse myself. Like, if there's little things in the background, I love finding those little details that just make you go like, oh, okay.
Oh, a little Easter egg.
That's a more well-rounded story now, dude. I actually really enjoy this, man.
There's some foresight in this whole movie. Like, foreshadowing.
Dog, if you would have just paid attention the whole time, you'd have seen it from the beginning.
The ending, dude.
You'd have seen the ending from the beginning.
Like, there's a couple movies that are like that I've seen on Reddit, where it's the movie details subreddit, where it's like, these events happen like this to foreshadow the true ending.
I saw one in particular about the movie. I saw a few about the movie Shrek. Shrek 2 specifically.
I was like, Shrek has foreshadowing.
Shrek 2 and Shrek 3 both have foreshadowing. And then mostly in regards to the king and like him being a frog.
I don't remember anything about Shrek 3. I don't know if I watched it, but I did watch Shrek 2.
Shrek 3 is basically you
They have
you
the
find
kids,
out at the
right?
end. Yeah, no, that's the fourth one.
Oh,
The third one is when the king's dying and Shrek has to take over, but he doesn't want to, as like the new king,
Oh,
and
so
he
I
doesn't
think
want
I
to. So then
have
he
seen
goes
that.
and finds like King Arthur. I have never seen the end of it, but apparently like Prince Charming leads a bunch of like the villains into far, far away, and they get into a whole scuff. It's a whole thing. Like I said, I never saw the end of it. Honestly, Shrek 1 and Shrek... Like, I even appreciated Shrek 2.
Shrek 2 was solid because it was the adventure of human Shrek and horse donkey.
Yeah. I'm a stallion, baby.
Look at me try.
Trotting place.
Try place.
Yeah.
I need to
What?
watch these,
Oh, it's
the
so
original Shrek.
Hell, dude, I even went out of my way to see Puss in Boots when it came out.
I didn't watch that.
It was all right. It was weird, right? Because it's literally just you basically put Antonio Banderas as Zorro in charge of like 3
But as a cat.
As a cat in charge of like 3 kittens, and then he has
It's
a
just
love
like Donald
interest.
Duck or Scrooge McDuck
Yeah,
and those 3 ducklings.
exactly.
But it's
And then he's got, a milk addiction and
he's a milkaholic.
he shows up to the bar. What can I get you, Mac? Leches. Every time.
Like DreamWorks really grabbed on to the Shrek
they
and
really did.
s-
It blew up.
squeezed it till it was dry.
Yep. Which is really frustrating. And I wish that at some point we would be able to see the original Chris Farley edit. I think that would be a lot of fun.
That should have been like from the original Shrek, like a special feature thing, or
Well, they
a
didn't want to.
bonus.
They didn't want to soil it. That's why Michael Myers made them redo everything about, not everything, but like virtually everything about the movie. Because he didn't want to taint what Chris Farley had already done. Because the film was almost like 90-95% done before Chris Farley
then
died.
you just make it 90 or 5% shorter.
Exactly.
You just leave as a cliffhanger. Come in with the second one.
Well, I'm sure that there were just like some scenes in between that like weren't finished.
They have to release it or something.
Yeah,
Like just
but I think that would be fantastic. The storyline itself was different as well.
yeah.
I can't remember specifically what the details of like the new storyline were, but it was a lot different.
Huh.
And Chris Farley had I can't remember the accent he used either. I want to say it was like Boston or something. And the character design. Oh my God, the character design. It was so goofy. Chris
Damn.
Farley Shrek, I was not a fan of at all.
Yeah.
Like of the character design itself. I'm sure
Did he look more like an actual like ogre?
it depends on what you'd say by ogre.
I don't know what an
He
ogre
was
really
way
looks
more
like.
cartoonish. I'll say that. Like he had
Okay.
this big old belly, but then his head was like got real like tall and skinny, and he had like this goofy like Chris Farley looking hair,
Huh.
and like the way his like eyes and ears sat on his head, like it was just weird. But then when they redid the character design for Shrek, they took inspiration from like a wrestler from like the 30s or the 40s.
Yeah, I've
And-
seen pictures of that.
Yeah, because he
He's a
had
really
I can't remember
hairy guy.
I can't remember the name of the condition he had, but the guy
Shrek disease.
Shrek disease. Yeah, we'll just call it that. But,
Shrekinese.
in Men in Black, the first one, the real tall dude with like the crazy face, who's the alien and
The Roach?
like- no, not the Roach. He's with the Archelian.
Oh, in the
prince.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but the real big guy.
Yeah.
He's got the same thing.
His body, whatever.
Yeah. Whereas bones just continuously grow. Like
Yeah,
that's the
they're
whole
huge.
thing. Yeah.
Huh.
And so that guy from the 30s or the 40s had that as well, and that's where they got the character design for Shrek. Apparently in I think it's the 4th one, either
They
the
have
son or
babies.
the son or the grandson of the guy who wrote the original book.
Shrek was a book?
I think so.
What?
I think it was initially conceived. I don't know.
I'll have to go look into that. That's
I may be thinking of a different movie, but if I'm not, this is a great story. No, because the character animation is virtually the exact same. I'm almost positive that it's
Yeah.
from Shrek. But it's either the son or the grandson of the guy who wrote the book. He plays like flute in it.
Huh.
Like there's a particular scene. Oh, the Pied Piper. I haven't seen the 4th one, so I don't
I'm
know
sorry,
at
I
what
can't
point
stop
the Pied
yawning.
Piper shows up, but apparently there's a Pied Piper, and the guy's kid or grandkid plays the flute in that particular sequence.
That sounds out of control.
Full circle.
Yeah.
For just a Shrek movie.
That's all it is just a Shrek movie. Do the roar. That's all I remember from the fourth one, and that was the best part.
It's all ogre now.
It's all
What you doing in the swamp?
What are you doing in my swamp?
I'm fucking in here, man. Just leave me. Go on and get out of here.
Hapaya.
Oh,
Oh, God, don't even get me started on that scene. It's one of my favorite
Huge
scenes.
castle. You think he's compensating for something. See, ogres are like onions.
Ahem.
They stink? No. They have layers.
Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm
the
the gingerbread man. You're a monster.
I'm not a monster. Here you are. You and your fairy tale friends ruining my perfect world.
Now tell me, where are the others?
I've tried
You're
to
the
be
monster
fair
here.
with you. I tried to be fair with you fairy tale things, and now my patience has reached its end. Now tell me, where are the others? Or I'll...
Not the buttons. Not the gumdrop buttons.
All right, then. Who's hiding them?
Do you know the Muffin
Okay.
Man?
I'll tell you. Do you know the Muffin Man?
I'm glad you know this.
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
Yes, I know the Muffin Man. Who lives on Drury Lane?
Well, she's married to the Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
She's married to the Muffin Man. Like, just a revelation.
But who were they talking about is my question.
For real, like, what kind of
Who's
war
ma-
crime
Who's
must you have
married to the
committed
Muffin
against
Man?
the Capitol? You notice how small
Well, because they
his
keep
town is?
referring to him as she. Who's she? Who's
Yeah. Who married the Muffin Man? And why is she so important?
why are you after the Muffin Man?
And maybe it's like a particular... Maybe it's just the suitor, you know? Maybe she got married to the Muffin Man because she loved the Muffin Man, as opposed to the arranged marriage that Farquaad had set up prior.
With
and
her,
now he's
with
trying.
him.
Yeah, now he's trying to find her, and the Muffin Man's just been hiding her. And he made Gingy because he wanted to make sure that he had a spy at all times. Because Gingy's a cookie, dude. He doesn't need to sleep. Think about it.
He's a
He could
gingerbread man.
Yeah, he literally he can just hang out anywhere in the house
Some
and
of
be
you
a spy in terms of like being able to make sure that Farquaad doesn't send like assassins or people trying to like look around through the houses and like try and find out where she is and stuff.
I love how he had little icing stitches on his legs.
The consistency, man, it's great because Farquaad fucking snaps him off in the first movie. It's actually
and he
horrifying.
comes back all stitched up and everything. Well, I'm glad everyone was able to smoke about it with us.
Oh, thank you guys so much for stopping by and smoking with us.
I'm glad you had a good time.
I'm
I
glad
had
you
a good time. Great time.
Did you have a good time, NookiePuss?
I had a great time, Captain Daddy.
You call me Captain Dad.
Captain
not wearing any
Dad.
socks.
Oh shit! The socks are off, people. You know what that means.
I haven't had socks on this whole time. Don't let 'em fool you. Well, we'll catch you guys next time, and I hope you stay beautiful in San Diego. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh. Ah.